If your handmade clothes ever turn out twisted, wonky, or just don't hang right, it might not be your sewing skills, it might be the grain line. Grain lines are one of those beginner sewing concepts that may seem small but make a huge difference of how your final garment turns out. Today I'm going to walk you through what a grain line is, how to use it properly, how to identify it on your fabric, and how to lay out your pattern. And I'll also point out some of the mistakes that we often made and how to avoid them. If you're just a beginner or improving your sewing skills, this one is essential. And if you want to keep learning step by step, make sure you grab my free skills checklist. It gives you a roadmap for what to learn next, and grain lines are right near the top of the list. Link is in the description below. Let's start with the basics. A grain line is that long arrow that you see printed on your pattern pieces, and it indicates how to place your pattern on your fabric. But it's more than just placement. It also indicates how the fabric will hang when you wear it, the stretch, and how it wears. There are three main types of grain line. The first one is the lengthwise grain line, and that is what you see indicated by the arrows on your pattern. And this grain line runs parallel to the selvage, and it runs from the cut edge of the fabric down to the other cut edge of the fabric. This is the strongest grain line, and this is typically what we want to go from top to bottom as we're wearing a garment. The next is the crosswise grain. This one runs perpendicular to the selvage, or basically that same line of where you have your cut in your fabric. This is much more stretchy. Even if it's a woven, you'll feel just a slight stretch in it. And often you'll see, if you do have a stretchy fabric, your crosswise grain is often stretchier than your lengthwise grain. And it's important to lay out your pattern that way, is because often you want the stretch to go across here. We don't necessarily need stretch, from our shoulder down to our hem. And last is the bias grain. This is in between the two. So it's basically a 45-degree angle between the selvage and the two cut edges of the fabric. This is the most stretchy. Try it out. You take a piece of fabric that has no stretch at all in it, and you pull it at the 45-degree angle, and you'll be amazed how much stretch is there. This is great for creating flowy, drapey designs, and you may have a bias cut skirt in your wardrobe now, and you'll see how magical that is. And grain lines are so important because if you don't take this into consideration, you'll have clothes that don't hang well, or maybe you have pants that are twisting around your calf. You can have necklines that droop, because this is particularly on the bias here. That's why I often will stay stitch around my neckline to make sure this very biased edge here is not stretching and then gaping over time. Or if you cut your garment out so the length is on the cross grain of the fabric. I did that once. I had some lining and I didn't have that much, so I was just twisting my pattern pieces around. And after it was cut out, I realized that I had no stretch this way. I had the stretch up and down, which I didn't need. So it was useless. So it's quite important that you do lay it out properly, so your stretch, if there's any, is going to be in the right direction. And just being a little off can make a big impact. So I always make sure when I'm laying my pattern pieces that I'm measuring to the selvage edge to make sure that everything is properly aligned. And here's how you can find your grain. The lengthwise grain goes parallel to the selvage edges. You can also do a tug test. So the stretchier direction is many times the crosswise grain, and that also runs parallel to the part of the fabric that was cut. And if you have a smaller piece of fabric, often you will cut your fabric up and maybe you don't have the selvage edge still attached. It just might be sort of an inside piece and you need to figure out what are the grains without having that selvage edge. So a good way to do is to pull it. If I pull it this way, I can see a little bit of stretch. And if I pull it that way, there is absolutely no stretch. So this would indicate that this is the lengthwise grain and this is the cross grain because it typically has a little bit more stretch. And then if we pull at the bias, you'll see it has a lot of stretch at the bias. So that's where if you need something with a little flexibility, you would sew it on the bias. And it's also why you have to be very careful around your necklines because it often it's cut. So part of it is going to be on the bias the way it's cut, and it stretches out very easily if you as you're sewing and pulling and tugging. And lastly, you can pull a thread or rip the fabric. I'm not that good at that, but when you go and buy your fabric in the store, you'll see the employee doing that, and I'm quite amazed by that. And then that gives you a perfect edge along the grain. It's probably the best way to make sure you know exactly where that crosswise grain is. And here's how you make sure that you are on the proper grain line. You put your pattern piece down on your fabric, and then you take a ruler and measure from the grain line on your pattern piece over to the selvage edge. I do that on both ends of the long arrow. So I do it on this end of the arrow and get that measurement, and then I come to the other end of the arrow and measure to the selvage edge as well. Definitely don't eyeball this because even a small amount that you're off is really going to cause problems with twisting and turning and not hanging properly. It's just not worth it. Here you can see the selvaged edge. It's finished. It's on both sides of the fabric. Here's the other end of it. So when you see those sides, that's, is the selvage edge. And you can see these sides are the cut edges. So we want to put our grain line, which on your pattern, you'll have it identified here. And you'll take your ruler and you'll measure to the selvage edge. So I like to get it to some place that's easy to measure. Let's just say 4.5 here. So here it's get that down there, 4.5. And you don't want to just measure at one place. You want to go to the other edge. So when you are creating your grain line, you want to make sure it's pretty big so you can measure in 2 different locations. So I'll just pull that down. So that's 4.5 to the selvage edge, and that is 4.5 to the selvage edge. So you just want to make sure that this is properly aligned along the length grain of your fabric. And here's some common mistakes that we make with the grain line. Like I just mentioned, you have to check both ends of the arrow to make sure that they both are reaching the selvage edge in the same distance. Sometimes we forget that knits have different grain line traits, and we'll get to that in a moment. Or using scraps and not quite sure where the grain line is and making it hard and not checking through a tear test or pulling a thread to make sure that you know exactly where that grain line is. And twisting and turning your pattern pieces around to save fabric when you don't have enough. Sometimes you can turn your pattern upside down or right side up, but turning it to the side, to the cross grain, not going to work. That's the mistake I made with my lining, or even worse is diagonal if you're not intending to cut something on the bias. So make sure all your pattern pieces are in the same direction using the same grain. So with knits, Grainline is similar but has some slight differences. So you'll still see that typically a knit will have more stretch in the cross grain than stretch in the lengthwise grain. So check that out and see if yours does. It's quite important that you, even though you might have a 4-way stretch, you still want to make sure you're laying all your pattern pieces in the same way so you don't have more stretch in one piece and less stretch in the other. And even though you have a 4-way stretch in a knit, you still want to place your grain line from your pattern parallel to the selvage, just like you would want to do with wovens. Now, when you're drafting your own patterns like I do, you have to decide for yourself where you're going to put the grain line on your pattern piece. So first you want to think where you want the most stability. So typically you want it, straight up and down in your garment. So that would be the lengthwise. So you would put it parallel to the center front or the center back. You also want to think about what stretch you need. So, if you particularly need stretch in one area, that's where you want to put it on the cross grain. And you have to decide if a bias cut will help or hurt your design. So consider that if you're making a skirt, you might want to cut it on the bias, but I think if you're making a regular blouse, you wouldn't want to do that. So when you're drafting your own patterns, the grain line becomes a design choice. And if you finally want to learn how to sew this year, check out this video here where I walk you through 5 things that you'll need to do. And if you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe.